welcome back to my channel, Ravens. Hope you're all doing well as always. So today's video, and I'm going to do it again even though I said I wouldn't. I know you've seen this makeup and look before. Really sorry, having a filming day, getting it out of the way while I can so as I can enjoy life a little bit easier. So you'll get used to this on this channel this year. You're going to see makeup looks and dresses and tops, and I couldn't be bothered to change my top for this video. So yes, I've even got my same earrings in, but they match the eyes, so we're going with it. This video I wanted to talk about capsule wardrobes again, so kind of following on from the one I've done that probably released February, bit late, but something that I've been talking about throughout the year. So for those of you who are not aware of capsule wardrobes, what they are and how they work, what I wanted to do was just come out and do a quick video and give you some insights, tips and information about how to downsize your wardrobe and still have enough outfits for all the things you need to do. As I've explained several times, I have had a massive declutter over the course of 2020, and in 2021 I'm not buying new outfits, new clothes. So what I wanted to do was make sure that I had enough items to be getting on with and a simpler capsule wardrobe for work. My wardrobe, disclaimer time, is not technically a capsule wardrobe. I have probably enough clothes that I could go a good month and a half at work without wearing the same outfit twice. However, that would be incorporating everything that I own, which obviously I'm not going to do because some of my outfits, items that I do have in my closet are not work appropriate. So I wanted to talk about specifically capsule wardrobes for the alternative and gothic-y inclined, an alternative inclined, on how we can still be ourselves with a small wardrobe and still look appropriate for work. Now, you will have seen by this point my corporate Goth. That was a series that I put out on Facebook and wanted to revive for YouTube because I think there's some bits in there that people who haven't seen my Facebook videos will find interesting, and also the fact that they were done quite a while ago. They're well over a year old, so it's a good refresher. And for anybody who's new, welcome to my channel, then you may not have even seen them. So that will have been out end of January, beginning of February. Now we're coming on to the more capsule wardrobe, which is what this year is about. And where do you start? Where do you start with the capsule wardrobe? So as I have stated previously, I feel like this is already going off on a bit of a tangent. Are we sitting comfortably? Have we got tea and biscuits and cake? More importantly, is there cake? And if there is, can you share? Because I would like some cake. I've had a craving for cake for a few days, and obviously not being out of the house, I haven't bought any cake. But I might have to, we have to go out on Wednesday, and I might have to go and get some cake. Cake. Anyway, enough about cake. So starting with the capsule wardrobe can seem a little bit daunting. It can seem overly complicated, but the god of fashion in my eyes, Goth, got me thinking about this a number of years ago, when he used to do his fashion I can't remember what it's called, but it was Goth's fashion basically, and he would take people who not necessarily didn't have a clue about fashion, but maybe didn't have a clue or a good idea, let's say, let's not be, you know, who basically weren't dressing correctly to make the most of their body type. And over the years, Goth has taught me so many tips and tricks. I don't see why I can't share them. And there's bits that I've learned as well that I want to share with you over the course of 2021. Some will be in my podcast. Quick plug to the podcast, Raven's Ramblings. I will put a link in all the descriptions below. But I wanted to, just do a video on the kind of basics of a capsule wardrobe. So King Goth, God Goth, whatever you want to call him, said in one of his things that the structure of a capsule wardrobe is up to about 15 items that you can wear that are mix and match. Now you can go for a minimal capsule wardrobe, but the best selection that I've seen, having been around this and done it before, not had much money and had to do it, and seeing other people do them, I would say between 10 to 15 items is about the kind of benchmark you want to place yourself. So if you've only got 10 items, that's fine, you can still work with that. If you've got more than 15 items, it tends to give you back to that situation of too much choice. So we are looking at key staple items that will go with anything. Bear in mind, my staple clothing is all black because obviously, but when you're talking about Joe Public, you know, they may want nude based or colour based, but whatever it is, it needs to be what the old, you used to term in the old days, coordinates. So your matching jumper and cardigan, but you can wear your cardigan with a different jumper, or you can wear your jumper with a different top, those kinds of things. So working with a capsule wardrobe can at first seem quite hard. You know, you think you're always going to be wearing the same thing. But once you get into the hang of what to do and how to accessorise it, it's not that hard at all. So by the time that this goes out, I hope you've been keeping an eye on my Instagram. So as I said, my work has changed a little. I'm not in work every day as much as I was. I'm now 1 week in, 2 weeks out. So I'm working from home. But on the weeks that I'm in the office, I'm kind of challenging myself to keep my wardrobe small, swapped around, just to show you options. So my outfits of the day will be on Instagram, and I have already done a video on my wardrobe, what's happened with my declutter, and also my first week of capsule items. This time I want to talk about what you can do and where to start if this is something that you want to do, that you're thinking about doing, and really don't know where to go with it. So number one, numbers of items. You are looking at 10 to 15 items from my experience. I think if you have more than 15 items, you're going to get into a bit of a tiz, and you're going to end up being back where you were with a full wardrobe. And I think if you have less than 10 items, you don't give yourself enough of variety to be able to swap things out. So what are the basic staples? You need at least one, preferably two, good, well cut, good quality jackets or blazers. So if you live in a corporate world and you're expected to wear suits to certain things, or you're expected to have that exceptionally professional and polished look, and I'm talking about people who are maybe face to face with clients who work in a very corporate structured environment, maybe banking or things where you're allowed to wear outside of a work uniform, you want to make sure you have two, I would say, from, again, my experience, decent jackets. Being on the plus size, blazers, jackets are not always that easy to come by, and I have struggled. So I have found this one, and I will quickly insert a picture whilst I faff around and pick it up from the background. I have found this one by Yours Clothing. Now, I will be doing, not a full video on Yours Clothing, but a informative piece within my ethical brands about Yours Clothing for those of you who are going down the sustainable ethical route this year or beyond, or already are, and about some of their ethics and what they do, not for this video. But this is from Yours Clothing. Now, you won't be able to see on camera, or maybe you will. It's a lovely soft kind of suedette, and it is a fairly long jacket. It is 3/4 length, I would say, for a jacket. Now, when we're talking 3/4 length jacket, we are talking not waist length, not knee. So waist length is half length or standard. So just above the hips is a standard jacket or suit jacket. For a full length, you are looking for knee to mid calf, and anything between above the knee to the hip is considered 3/4 length. Now, because I'm only 5'7", that jacket can be a little bit longer on me, but it goes great with skirts. It goes fantastically with long baggy trousers, and it works really well with most of my dresses. So it is a lovely open jacket. I could sling a belt round it if I wanted to. I don't think it came with one, but I could. The reason I love this jacket is its expandable sleeves. So for anyone like me who has wide arms, it does have this expandable panelling. But it is considered a fairly basic but interesting overblazer. So it has some zips, it has some hardware on it, but it's generally fairly plain. So I could wear this 2 or 3 days to work, and people might notice, they might not. But depending on what I pair it with, again, back to distraction techniques, then it won't necessarily look the same with every outfit. I have worn that with a long skirt and then paired it out with a pair of trousers, and it looks completely different depending on what I put under it, whether it's a low neck or whether it's a high neck. So I would say 2 decent blazers. I do have another one, but I didn't want to get everything out of my wardrobe. So having something that you can alternate that goes with pretty much everything in your wardrobe is a really good idea. This is not to say that you can't wear cardigans with your capsule wardrobe as kind of side items, but for a work appropriate wardrobe that's more down the corporate edge, then a couple of decent jackets. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The cut, the colour, the size, the length, as long as it goes with everything else you have. What I mean by that is, if you are a size 12 or a size 8 or a size 32, I don't care. Nobody cares. Nobody should care. But don't purchase a colour for a jacket that will not go with everything else. So if you love colour and you have a beautiful navy blue dress with bright pink flowers on it, I would suggest a navy blue blazer that would go with various other colours for tops and trousers and skirts and dresses, and not necessarily the pink one. Because a pink one, although it would match the dress, yes, would go with other plain colours, but it stands out. So if you're starting with a capsule wardrobe, keep your jackets, and again, just my advice, but I would keep your jackets to the nude, the blacks, the greys and the navy blues, just to give you that expansion of colour palette. You compare a navy blue dress or a navy blue dress, what am I talking about? You compare a navy blue blazer with lemon, white, jade green, even red, stripes, patterns, plains, all that kind of thing, with one jacket and make it look very, very different. You can do the same with nude, you kind of camely colours, that kind of taupe. Again, they will go with a range of colour palettes, and obviously black. Now, I'm not saying that every jacket you have to have is black just because mine is, but black does generally go with everything. It can look a bit harsh. If you're somebody that does light pastel colours, maybe a black jacket isn't the way forward, because if you're wearing lemons and lilacs, black can look very harsh. It's entirely up to you. Maybe a darker grey that's got that kind of softer palette to it. But in general, 2 really good, different jackets. So maybe one has hardware and one's plain, one has pockets, one doesn't. However you want to dress that up, it doesn't matter the size, as I've said. The colour is important, and also the fit. Length, whatever you want it to be. I personally, on my body type, don't like cropped jackets, so I tend to go for the more long line jackets. I also think that for my age, being in my 40s, when I'm going to work, the longer jackets are more age appropriate. And I also find for my body type, they fall better when I'm wearing a dress or where I'm wearing trousers. So for me, the 3/4 length seem to work best. And I find if I have anything that's kind of full length, it kind of swamps me a little bit. So 3/4 length is great if you are on the plus size. Not forcing you down that route, you know, you can wear whatever you want. But I would suggest finding something that you are comfortable in, and you can pair with various different items. So what other items can you have? I would suggest 1 or 2 very good, well-fitting shift dresses. Whether these are coloured, printed, that's entirely up to you. Whatever colours you want to choose are up to you. Mine obviously would all be black. But I would suggest a couple of good shift dresses. Possibly a sleeveless and a sleeved, whether that be, you know, short sleeve or cap sleeve, up to you. Again, fit, whether it's bodycon, whether it's Empire line, whether it's waist and then tucked in. I actually have one. I've been trying to find it. If I can find a picture, I will insert it. But I have one from Evans, which is a kind of half sleeve, round neck, nipped in just under the waist, or under my boobs I should say, with a bit of elastic, and then it has, like they term, a kind of tulip skirt, so it goes out a little bit and then comes back in at the bottom, and I think it has a wrap piece on it as well. So that's a kind of staple shift dress. A shift dress can be dressed up, it can be dressed down. So on a nice summer's day, a shift dress, you know, bare arms, a nice piece of jewellery, a nice long chain, a belt, can look amazing. And in the winter you can put a shift dress over a blouse and have the collar with the high neck or whatever neck you have, and even over a jumper, so as it can have that kind of pinafore look if that's what you want. Again, a shift dress with a blazer looks amazing and exceptionally professional, and depending on what colours you purchase, you have that range of palette. So if you wanted a black and a navy blue jacket or blazer, whatever you would like to call them, and you wanted a couple of shift dresses, then you could go with a grey, you could go with a nude, you could again go with a plain black. It's entirely up to you. But dresses that can then go with other accessories keeps it to that muted palette, allows you to dress it up or dress it down. So if you purchased a, let's go with dark grey shift dress, kind of pinafore style, nice and simple. I will try and get a picture. I may not be able to, but I'll try and get a picture. You could easily pair that with a lemon shirt and it would look totally different. You could pair it with a turtleneck jumper and it would look totally different. You could wear it in the summer without anything underneath it. You could wear it in the winter with a heavy coat and it would look different every time. You could wear it with red shoes, purple shoes, black shoes, knee-high boots. However you accessorise that one basic makes it look different each time you wear it. I would suggest 2, maybe slightly different cuts, again maybe slightly different sleeve lengths, but 2 jackets and 2 good shift dresses. Skirts. I would look at 3 or 4 skirts. Skirts that are comfortable, work appropriate, and the style that you like. So I have 2 types in my wardrobe. I have, I'm hoping I get the right one, this one, which I will insert a picture of, but a kind of long A-line, simple, stretchy waistband skirt. It was in my first week of Capsule clothing and I think I wore it for 3 days. Very simple, chuck it on with a jumper, tuck it in, chuck it on with a blouse, chuck it on with a top, whatever you want to wear it with. One skirt can last you a week as long as you don't get anything on it. You know, if you can wear it 5 different ways in a week. Again, it will go with both blazers if you have made the correct choice in cut. Whatever works for you. I can see this type of skirt. I'll just hold it up again. I can see this type of skirt with a cropped blazer. I can see it with a long line blazer like I wear. I can see it with all sorts of things. And it just depends what you pair it with. Do you want to pair it with a red jumper for the winter? Do you want to pair it with a white blouse? Do you want to pair it because you're going to see a client in a blazer? So it's the basic staples that will go with multiple different things. The other type of skirt I like to wear, if I can find it, I've chucked all these things around, is this one. So this one I picked up last year from ASOS. It's quite thin. It's quite long on me. It's not quite floor length. Again, simple, but this one is pleated. So it, again, just a different type of skirt. I did have a couple of pencil skirts, but they're not really for my body shape because I have a lower belly. They cut in. They don't look very good. So I tend to go for more A-line for my age. So for those of you that don't know about skirts, pencil skirt, pretty much straight, nips in at the bottom, a wiggle skirt. Generally have a split to the front side or to the back, which is traditional, and they come in various different lengths. They can be mid-calf, but generally they sit just below the knee. You can get them shorter, you can get them longer, but most pencil skirts I aim to sit just below the knee, and they are very structured. Skater skirts nip in at the waist and flounce out. Normally very, very short and not necessarily work appropriate unless the length is correct. A-line will nip in at the waist and then sit and slowly float out and is normally a bit longer. And then you have your maxi skirts, which are normally full length, normally quite floaty. There are other types of skirts out there, of course, but that's my little crash course for you. So I tend to go for the A-line, a little bit more floaty, a little bit of fabric in them, and then the slightly long maxi skirts, because I find I can put them up a little bit higher and then they drop and they fall nicely over my extra curves and wobbles, and they don't nip and tuck at the wrong place, and they are very comfortable. Again, when you're looking at skirts, look at what blazers you've picked up, look at how things match. If you've bought skirts first, look at what blazers will go with it. So I find my 3/4 length blazers pretty much go with everything, and they work very, very well, whether it's a longer or shorter skirt. Colours, again, stick to those palettes that are muted and that are very much amenable with other colours. Like I said, navy blue will go with pretty much every other colour on the spectrum if you get the right type of dark blue, and I'm not talking that kind of French navy, I'm talking proper navy blue, the dark navy blue, that sits with pretty much every colour palette. In fact, I don't know a colour it doesn't go with. Thinking even neons, I've seen people wear navy blue with neon colours. It goes with pretty much everything. Black goes with everything, but again, be careful of it being harsh. Dark greys, kind of charcoal greys, go with pretty much everything. When you get into the red and green palette, then you are limiting yourself a little bit. And again, the kind of nudes, the tanny, taupey kind of nudes will also go with a lot of different things. Trousers, a couple of good pairs of trousers. So we're at 2 jackets, 2 dresses, 3 or 4 skirts, I would say. That takes us up to, I can't count, 8. So 9 and 10 are a couple of good pairs of trousers. Whether you wear cigarette pants that are cropped because that's what you like, whether you wear palazzo pants, whether you wear straight cut, boot cut, I don't mind. But again, it's down to what flatters your body, what the fit works with everything else that you've got. I have seen on a couple of occasions kind of hip length jackets that are quite tailored with quite flared boot cut trousers. Not always a good look. Straight leg trousers do not suit everybody. And boot cut you don't have to wear just because you wear boots. You can still wear skinny trousers and tuck your boots on the outs, tuck them into your boots rather than having your boots underneath. So trousers don't have to be boot cut. But again, stick to colours that you can mix and match with everything else. And then the last items are your kind of fun additions. So if there's a particular dress style that you like, maybe you want to wear more of a A-line dress, then put an A-line dress in there. If you want to wear a long maxi skirt, although you've got a selection of skirts, if you want another one that's maybe you really like the blue, but you want it in the black or you want it in the nude, just to be able to swap those over, still wearing them with the same range of colour tops, then do that. And bear in mind, when we're talking about a capsule wardrobe, we're not necessarily talking about every single blouse, every single top that you wear. So with my capsule wardrobe, yes, I have a few dresses. I will wear them, interchange them with my jackets. I have a few good skirts. I will interchange them, but I probably have 7 or 8 really good work tops that I can swap them around. So I could wear the same skirt for 5 days to work with 5 different tops and still have only worn 6 items of clothing all week, because the skirt goes with everything. The same with trousers. If you get a really good pair of trousers and a really good fit on a pair of trousers and a really good colour, again, your navy blues, your dark greys, your blacks, then you can pretty much pick any other colour in the palette in the world and it will go with it. So if you have a grey pair of trousers and a black pair of trousers, any shop that you went into to buy a blouse in any colour that you wanted, neon green, chartreuse, whatever you want to call it, you could bring home and go, yeah, that'll go with both. And that's how you build a capsule wardrobe. It's those key items that allow you to expand accessories, that allow you to expand t-shirt tops. If all you can afford and all you want is 7 or 8 Primark t-shirts that you can wear to work and make look different every day, if you have a capsule wardrobe that has 2 blazers, 3 or 4 skirts and a couple of good pairs of trousers, you could easily get through a month at work by mixing and matching and not wearing the same thing every day. It may look similar, but it wouldn't necessarily be the same. So take a plain white t-shirt, take your black trousers and your 3/4 length black blazer, for example. You have one outfit. If you then wore the same t-shirt and the same trousers the next day, but swapped your blazer for your second blazer, which may be a shorter one, more cropped one, you have an outfit that looks completely different. If you then said, well, I'm changing the t-shirt and I'm going to put on a turtleneck jumper, then the outfit looks different again. So it's outfits that you could put up a basic standard and go, if I swap that for that, will it still work? Yes. If I take my shift dress and I put that t-shirt underneath it because it's a bit chilly, will it still work? Yes. That is the basics of your capsule wardrobe. So it's a group of items, staple items, that you can mix and match. It's not to say it's the only items in your wardrobe, but if you want that challenge, go for it. I would say maybe expand it to 20 items if you wanted to do that challenge, and add your tops and blazers into it and maybe a bit of pattern. But it's about choosing clothing that you can get maximum wear out of. And again, I'm going to go back to Lord Goth. He was looking at items with somebody who said in one of his episodes, I can't afford to buy that. And he sat them down and said, okay, is that because the item is too expensive, or is that you believe it's too expensive? And when we're talking about a culture now where we want to be into sustainable fashion and items that will last us year on year on year rather than just one season, you're going to end up paying that little bit more for each item. because it will last longer. So he sat down and explained, look at each item you buy and look at cost per wear. When I started buying new rocks, that was exactly what I looked at. I looked at a pair of boots that were £200 and went, how many times am I going to wear them? If I wear them 200 times in a year, every time I've worn that item, it's cost me £1. But they've lasted me 200 days back to back. If I then wear that item for 5 years, for 200 days per year, that item's cost me 20 pence per wear. Is it therefore too expensive? You're looking at the quality of the item and the cost of the item against how much wear you'll get out of it. So if you buy a blazer, for example, the one I have here, was about £60. Now, if I was to wear that once to an event, for me, that's an expensive item of clothing. The fact that I could wear that to an event and also wear it possibly 10, 15 times a month at work and make it look different, is that item then expensive to wear? Whereas you can look at something cheap from Primark that maybe is only £10 for a blazer. Will it last? Will you still be able to wear that item in 2 years' time, in 3 years' time, in 4 years' time? Or is it going to fall apart because it doesn't have the quality? So there is a lot to think about when you're doing a capsule wardrobe. It can seem very, very daunting. It can seem very expensive for very few items. But when you are purchasing, just keep a few things in mind. First off, will the colour go with more than one thing? Will it go with a multitude? Can I walk around a shop and match it with at least 5 tops? If you can, then you can probably match it with more. Look at the cut. Does the cut flatter your body? Is it something you're going to be comfortable in? Whatever cut it is, are you going to wear it? I know I do not like boot cut jeans on me. I don't like straight cut jeans on me. If I'm going to wear jeans, they've got to be skinny jeans. It's just what I like. They may not be the best, and I'm sure some fashion guru out there might tell me they don't even suit me. But it's what I like. Now, I'm not a massive jean wearer, but when I do, they've got to be skinny jeans. So if you want boot cut trousers, wear boot cut trousers, but make sure they are items, again, in the colour spectrum that will go with multiple things. Look at your price point. You have an option of buying, if you're going for a full capsule wardrobe, don't necessarily buy an item because it's cheap, okay? It may be an item that you have to save up 2 or 3 months to purchase. I would suggest doing so, because if you're going to go down the capsule wardrobe route, you want items that are going to last. The whole point of a capsule wardrobe is less in quantity. So there's no point buying something that is going to break after 3 or 4 wears, because even if it's only cost you £10, then it's less cost efficient to buy something that will break after 4 wears and cost you £2.50 a wear, or you can buy something that's maybe £70 or £80 and get 700 or 800 wears out of it, and you're looking at 10 pence a wear. So look at your price point. If you have to save up for something, I really would suggest doing it, because it is something that will last you. Wash and wear now is so much better for the environment and in general than something you can pick up and throw away. So, like I said, if you need to save for it, I would suggest that. You will feel so much better for it, knowing that you've got an item you can wear for years. That blazer, for example, that was £60, I'll still be wearing that when I turn 50, I expect, because it's a really nice cut blazer. It's very comfortable and it goes with pretty much anything. The only thing I wish it had, which I might look at swapping out myself, is that the hardware was silver and not gold. But I'll live with it. So yeah, look at colour, look at price point, look at what you are going to get the most wear out of. So if you walk into a shop and you're looking for a dress that will go with multiple things, you may find the most fabulous dress for 50 quid that's really good quality that you want for your wardrobe. Does it hit all the other points? If it's not something you're going to be able to wear more than once in a week, it's not part of a capsule collection. So if you buy a dress that's jade green, but you can only wear that in the office once, it's not part of a capsule collection. Unless you have a jade green and black or jade green and white wardrobe. So again, think about how many times you can wear it and disguise that you're wearing the same item. Because again, capsule wardrobes is not just about what you're wearing, it's disguising that you've worn it before. It's about what you pair it with. It's about the accessories you wear. Again, back to my distraction fashion. You know, statement jewellery will change the look of an outfit. So the three key things. Is it a colour that will match other things in my wardrobe, regardless of what colours you wear? Is it at the right price point that it will last and I will get wear out of it at cost per wear? And is it an item that will go with more than one thing? Can I wear it more than once to work in the same week? If you can say yes to all those things, you're on a really, really good starting point. Now, if like me, you are on the gothic edge and you like to wear a lot of black, capsule wardrobes are fairly simple. Find things you like, find things that fit, find things that are good quality. Perfect. If you do like to wear colour, then, you know, don't limit yourself. Maybe the way forward for you is 4 or 5 different blouses in different colours and prints that you can match with trousers, you can put under dresses and you can match with skirts. But the basics of the wardrobe, all those additional bits that we put together to make those outfits, really need to be within that same collection or that little capsule. And you should be able to, in an ideal world, you should be able to put together 10 outfits with one item. So whether you swap out the jacket, change the jacket and not wear a jacket, whether you put, you know, so take a skirt. So you have one skirt, you can put one top, 2 different jackets, that's 2 different outfits. You can put 2 different jackets and change the tops out, that's 4 outfits. You can not wear a jacket at all, that's 5 outfits. So all those different things, how many ways can you wear that item? If it's around 10, you are in a really, really good position, because you should be able to go through a capsule wardrobe and within a working month, so you're looking at 20 to 22 days, I believe, in a working month, you should be able to wear a different outfit every day from a wardrobe of 10 to 15 items. And if you can do that, you have nailed the capsule wardrobe. So I'm going to leave it here before it gets too waffly. By all means, come and ask me some questions, drop them down in the comments. Subscribe if you haven't already, that would be wonderful. We would love to have you in the Raven family. And look out for my podcast. So I am doing a podcast called Raven's Ramblings. I will link it in the bottom and there will hopefully be some good tips on there. I am going to do a podcast on capsule wardrobes and explain a little bit more about this, possibly in a little bit more depth without lots of gesticulating with my hands and pointing at things. So I will make sure I do that. If you know somebody who's interested in podcasts, then let them know that I have one and it's happening once a month. And see where things go. But until then, I'm going to sign off because it's getting a bit late in the day and I need to go and eat something. So I'm going to sign off. I hope that this has been informative. I hope that it's helped you. I hope that those of you who are working towards a capsule wardrobe, that I haven't got it wrong. I don't believe I have. But you know, if you are working towards that capsule wardrobe, let me know. Come and have a chat in the comments. Maybe I can help you out. Maybe you can give me some tips and then I can pass those out to others. So I hope you're having a wonderful evening, day, whatever you're up to. And as always, just do you.